How about the Cleveland Rockers and some of the news that broke over the weekend that Cleveland reportedly getting the next WNBA expansion team in 2028? I would just die, you guys. I had so much Rockers gear from back in the day, and I'll be so pissed if my mom threw this away. What do you guys think? I'm excited.
So it's pretty wild the way things come full circle now, because back in 2003, and shout out to Vince Guerreri on this one, back in 2003, the Rockers went away. And why did they go away? Because LeBron James was coming to town. The Guns at that time were trying to basically make the Cavs as attractive for a sale as possible. So they were jettisoning things that weren't making them money. And right then, it was the Rockers at that time. So they jettisoned them. They sign them, or they sell the franchise to Dan Gilbert 2 years later. And now we see, years later, Dan Gilbert brings them back, which is just fantastic. And, kudos to him for recognizing that as an opportunity here in Cleveland. I think people are really going to rally around the Rockers. I'm pretty excited to have them back. I know I was talking to my daughter, Riley, this morning, and she was very excited about it. So it's going to be neat. And, Nick, you even pointed out on social media the timing is going to be pretty well.
Timing a little convenient with the Caitlin Clark free agency heating up. We know Dan Gilbert's one to spend a good deal of cash. We know that's something that the WNBA doesn't have a lot of, is cash. The league does lose, work at kind of a loss. So, if Dan Gilbert wanted to come in and swing for the fences for Caitlin Clark to really start the Rockers back or the Splash, he'd be in his right to do so. But with being an expansion team, we'll have an expansion draft. So some of the NBA or WNBA stars that people have kind of come accustomed to could be on the move, and some of the regular role players could be in the shuffle that come to Cleveland, like that just took place for Golden State Valkyrie. They just did an expansion draft. There'll be another one next year for the new Toronto team, and then Cleveland in 2028. So a lot of motion in the WNBA. There's no doubt about that.
Do you think that Cleveland can support this team? Like they'd rally behind and get excited?
I think so.
And
one of the things, we were just talking about the All-Star game and how there's really no emotion behind it. One of the things that you find right now, especially in women's basketball at the collegiate level, is there are a lot of great stories. You go down to the Kim Mulkeys out there. I mean, there's a lot of people that everyone wants to beat, kind of the villains out there. There's a lot of players you want to be like. So there's that drama exists right now in college, and I think that's going to be tapped into with Cleveland getting a new team. If they can tap into some of that emotion, I think that's really going to be helpful. And this is a great sports town, right? And I think that missing piece is having a great women's sport like that here represented in Cleveland.